good, YouTube? It's your boy Dev back again. Another first listen. Make your return, please. Alright, man. I decided since it's been about 3.5 years since we got a Weeknd album, you know, After Hours is finally here. Just did my House of Balloons throwback video. And I decided, you know what? Since it's been a long time coming, man, why not bring the first Anything Friday to 2020? You know, I haven't done a Anything Friday in a while. As you guys know, I was sick last week. And yesterday I was feeling a little nauseous, so we all know what those symptoms mean, to be honest, at this point. You know, if I'm gonna go, I might as well die lit, you know what I'm saying? So I might as well just go ahead and you know, have some cheesecake and you know what I'm saying, some Henny, you know what I'm saying, Anything Fridays. Anyways, man, look, the 4 tracks that I've heard, the SNL live performance included, you know, Heartless, Blinding Lights, and After Hours. Those 4 tracks were amazing. The album is 14 tracks. You guys know how I love my short albums, and this is not even a short album because we have 10 new tracks, and 4 of the tracks are already fire. So we're already basically 30% there of this album being a classic. You know, I didn't do, well, 35%, but we're basically already there for the album to be a classic. And I feel like, look, for me, The Weeknd has never missed. He has targeted each audience. You guys know that I am a House of Balloons Thursday fan, and for you guys that are Trilogy fans, whatever you guys want to call it, I meant no disrespect when I did the last video. When you guys say Trilogy fans, I just mean it like when I was popping breezes, you guys was still motherfucking losing your virginity. So, I mean no disrespect by that. That's kind of just the timeline where I got it, and I didn't really call it Trilogy. I called them by its own respective mixtape name, the unfinished, raw, non-mixed product. Look, I'm just ready, all right? I don't want to do too much talking. I'm not really, I mean, I'm not feeling too well, but I'm still trying to get off on this Henny that maybe can give me some energy. We're going to try to enjoy this. Y'all told me to get my toxic sad boy bag, and that's exactly what I'm going to get here. We already going to enjoy this. I ain't going to do too much talking, like I always been fucking talking too much, man. We got The Weeknd After Hours. It is finally here. Y'all ready? All right, the first track we got is Alone Again. Not now, horse. Not now. Hold on now. Oh, shit. It wasn't the transition I was expecting, but I'm not mad at that transition either. So for that track right there, man, the synths was hitting, man. I don't know what you would call that instrumentation, but I'm gonna say it's the synths. I just love, man. It definitely sounded like, you know, distorted. It had a little distorted sound to it. You know, The Weeknd, I did not expect him to transition into that. I thought he was actually gonna bring the beat back. And when he kind of just went on to this little spaceship kind of theme, again, you know, he's always going to be a star boy. He's implemented that into his music. The star boyish sound, very poppy, futuristic sound. I get that. I understand that. So I'm not mad at him, especially when we got these last 3 or 4 tracks where they sounded kind of like vintage Weeknd. I think that intro is perfect intro right there, man. That is crazy. That is definitely one of the intros that I'm going to feel. The message, you know, I always say, when I listen to The Weeknd, man, I always have a connection to him. If in my House of Balloons reaction, I definitely talked about this multiple times about my stories and how my experiences kind of affected the way The Weeknd's, you know, first 2 mixtapes hit for me. I feel like Alone Again is kind of that track where, you know, he can't really do it again. You know, he said one line in there when he's going to the strip club, and what did he say? Hold on. This is all raw, by the way. So if you're on my Patreon, this is not getting edited out. Falling Only for the Night. So I assume that was strippers, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you know what I'm saying? When you fall only for the night, you fall in love with that nightlife, and there's nothing but trouble that happens after 12. After midnight, man, there's nothing but trouble, especially if you're out past 3 in the morning. It's always trouble out there. So he's only falling in love with that nightlife, kind of just trying to forget about who he's really loving and kind of just trying to be, you know, just trying to get his mind off things. I feel like we've all been there at some point in our lives, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of just, it's kind of, not a gateway, but just something to distract. Definitely a great intro, and I'm fucking with that, man. Track 2, Too Late. Oh, he back on that Starboy shit, huh? told you guys, I expected him to kind of give us that Starboy. And I'm not going to be too mad if the rest of the album is Starboyish like, because I told you guys, the four tracks that we got are definitely vintage Weeknd. So if he wants to get into his pop bag, his futuristic pop bag, I'm cool with that, all right? Because it's not, you know, Forever 21 Weeknd also sounds fire. It's not like it's a bad Weeknd, you know what I'm saying? We all got our preference of what Weeknd we want. I'm not mad at this. I'm not mad at this. Well, this sounds like it gotta have Metro on it. Metro had to be on this bitch. This is hitting what? You know what's crazy, man? The Weeknd is definitely Michael Jackson reincarnated, bro. Straight up. I think for me, man, really like he definitely does sound like Michael, man, when you really think about it. And I don't mean any disrespect. Like, no one's comparing. I think that's, you know, like, no one's trying to disrespect MJ, right? And I feel like when you make that comparison, I don't think we're talking about their careers necessarily. We're just talking about the sound, man. You could definitely hear Michael-esque all throughout the Weeknd's catalog. You know what I'm saying? You could definitely tell he has a big influence on Abel. And it's like, what's wrong with that, right? And I think that from a pop standpoint, while the Weeknd may not be as impactful, or any artist of the matter might not be as impactful as MJ, I think the Weeknd definitely deserves to kind of just be in that conversation. You know what I'm saying? To be in that conversation of the greats, because he's been doing numbers ever since he came in the game. And I think that's something you got to respect. But that second track, again, you know, it definitely sounds outer spacious, man. Sounds like a Starboy type track. I'm cool with that, man. A lot of y'all excited to get in my fuckboy bag, though, so I'm still waiting on the fuckboy track. But I'm letting you know, these last two tracks have definitely been Alone Again, Too Late. Him kind of just reminiscing, him kind of just being regretful, you know, like wanting his girl back. So like, I'm guessing that's gonna be the theme of the album, because maybe later on it'll get a little fuckboyish. But right now, I'm just saying, it sounds like he in the sad boy bag right now. Track 3, Hardest to Love. With me so many times, you're crying out behind the smile. This may be a little kiddish to me, man. You know, definitely I'm known a kid sometimes, but you know, this remind me of when I first heard that beat. Yeah, y'all remember that Miss Krabs? That that's exactly what that shit sounded like when I was like, you know, I'm sitting a little Miss Krabs, like that's what that shit sound like, yo. Some graphics GTX shit from Kanye. I've been the hardest to love. You're trying to let me go. Yeah. The house I bought is not a home. Heard that. To get. And I can see it. I've been the hardest. This is gonna be the track that kind of just be like, you know what? I don't like this initially, and it's gonna grow on people. Be like, you know what? I love this shit. I thought he was gonna bring it back. Thought he was gonna bring that bitch back. Alright, for that track, man, too, man. Again, connection towards it, man. Like, again, it sounded like that Mr. Krabs beat. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If y'all some SpongeBob fans, y'all know. Look, at this point, I feel like SpongeBob is universal. It's definitely part of the culture. So everybody, especially in the meme world, everybody knows about that. That's what it sounded like. Now, this track, it reminds me of comparable to somebody like Drake, as in Summertime. Summertime was called? What the fuck was that called? Track 3? And a night in July, for me. It's like the Summertime tracks, whatever it was called, I forget, on side B on Scorpion, where, you know, he was kind of just doing his thing. A lot of people really initially didn't like that, and he had that kind of upbeat type of techno beat, and I feel like that's a track that grew on a lot of people, including myself. This track right here, I could definitely appreciate it again with the Starboy vibes, again with the spaceship vibes. Definitely sounds out of this world. The production though, man, I think Metro was on the last track. I don't know who's producing this track, but it definitely sounds like somebody who's just in a different lane, man. You know, while Starboy was its own thing, I definitely feel like this is more out of this world. I know I said that twice, but that's what I mean. This is more, you know, the synths are all over the place. It kind of sounds like Blinding Lights as well. When you kind of actually think about it, this sounds more like Blinding Lights, and I can kind of see why Blinding Lights was the lead single. And I feel like this track right here, man, is exactly what, you know, he's saying that sometimes it's hardest to love, man. You know, I've been a hardhead myself. You know, have you ever been in that situation where, you know, someone's giving you their all and you're kind of just like pushing them away. You're kind of just like, nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm not really worried about it. They're doing everything, you know, hand and feet to you, and you're kind of just pushing that away. It's, you know, overlooking that shit. And sometimes you come to terms with your own self and you're just like, I was kind of fucked up, man. You know, like, I'm sorry. You know, I know sometimes I'm really hard to love. Sometimes I'm really hard to like, but I know I'm a handful. But, you know, I'm thankful for people like you that actually deal with me, because there is a lot of us that are a handful. Straight up. We all know that. We are a handful. And when you actually get someone that cares about you enough, you kind of let your guard down and then become non-handful. Y'all know what I mean, man. Hold on, let me take a drink real quick. Track 4, Scared to Live. When I saw the signs, I should have let you go. Okay, this is Saturday Night Live. I've already heard it. No, this is my favorite part right here. The part right here just coming on Saturday Night Live. I was like, alright, man, since I already heard that track, man, I just wanted to because you know it's crazy, man. You know it's really wild, and I know it's a little bit alteration as well, but that track sounds exactly how he sung it on Saturday Night Live, which is crazy when you think about it. Like, he killed that live performance when you actually listen to this. The live performance is actually damn near better than this, but I feel like, I know the production is a little crispier. Obviously going to be a little crispier on the studio version, on the album version. I just want to say, man, like, you know, the line he said, the part that hit me when he's like, we fell apart right from the start. Like, people don't really realize, man, that some people are just doomed from the start. Like, you know, when you see people argue like the first week, or they go through their trials and tribulations, and it's already like the first 2 weeks. Look, the sad part about it is, who wants to give up something they've been working so hard to get when they finally get you? Why would you give up on it? But, you know, realistically, you know, you find out about all about your relationships within the first 2-3 months. I mean, that's when you really find about it. Like, you gonna find out whether you like this person, whether you gonna deal with this person, what do you like about this person. Like, you just find out a lot of questions get answered, and a lot of people kind of try to fight that and say, you know what, let's just go longer, and what all you're doing is digging yourself in a hole to make yourself unhappy and to make it harder to leave later on in the relationship, which is kind of crazy. Like, you think about it, like, imagine, like, you know, I was supposed to break up with you a year ago. 2 years later, I'm breaking up with you 3 years later, 4 years later, 5 years later. Next thing you know, you can't break up with the psycho, because the psycho gonna come and take your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just can't. It don't work out like that. All right, like, and people don't really understand, you know, for the better of the you know, better your health or whatever, better your, you know, just your mentality. It's kind of just like, in that shit right now, it'll hurt right now, but in the long run, it'll definitely feel better. Now, I think a lot of people don't really think about the long run, including myself. I'm guilty of it too. Next track is Snow Child. You know, it's crazy. After listening to House of Balloons, remember in the morning when he had the morning, Cali is the mission, right? That's what he said. I can't think of the words right now. You know, it's really slippery right now. My head is fucking filled with air and mucus. But Cali is the mission. He did say Cali is the mission, and now he's just saying right there how he said, hold on, let me get it up. Patreon people. He said Cali was the mission, but now a nigga leaving. Like, you see what he's saying? Like, that was a different time. And he also talk about being on the streets. I'm gonna talk about that after. Hold on, but we're gonna keep going. Hold on. She like my futuristic sound in the new spaceship. Futuristic sex, give a Philip K. Dick. She never need a man, she what a man needs. So I keep on falling for her daily. Because it's what a man needs. It's what he needs. She's that woman, you know what I'm saying? That woman that he needs. The one that got away. Dirty like I'm Swayze. Hey. All my diamonds dancing like they Swayze. All my diamonds hitting like they Sway Lee. It said all my diamonds dancing like Drake, Dreezy. No, that would, yeah, I guess that would make sense. Superstar neighbor in my business. Paparazzi trying to catch me slipping. No. like this is the follow-up song to the Morning. You know, I just got done listening to House of Balloons, so when he said Cali is the mission, he was talking about, you know, him being on the streets. I can't imagine that either, man. Imagine the two different extremes of that, like being broke, walking poor, having nothing, literally nothing, homeless, to being the biggest star on the planet. That's crazy how life could just change. And you know, people don't really realize that, man. Everybody, I feel like, has their window, has their time to, you know, kind of shine and to, you know, take a grasp of their life. And, you know, everybody has those windows. I feel like everybody doesn't have it. They're not going to get there, but everybody has a window of opportunity. And I feel like The Weeknd kind of just took his, and for him to see where he is now to where he was back in 2010, 2011, it's kind of amazing, man. When you look at his story from the outside in, it's like, damn, you know, I couldn't do it myself. Well, for me, yeah, man, I don't know. I couldn't do it myself. I mean, I kind of did it, but I wasn't homeless. That's what the difference is. Like, he was homeless. Imagine having nothing. Like, and getting dwelled up with the drugs and just, you know, thinking that it's all over. And, you know, for him to kind of just make this track, Cali was the mission. Now he's trying to lead that shit. Now he's in a different, you know, mindset. And, again, I feel like this definitely is a love book. It sounded like, what I was going to say, the first 4 tracks, though, was definitely Simp Weeknd. You know, he was definitely Simp Weeknd. Snow Child was kind of just him reflecting on his life. And now looking at it, you know, he kind of just realizes where he's at. And, you know, he knows who he is. He's The Weeknd. He's talking about, you know, he understands. I feel like The Weeknd is a very humble guy. The next track that was called Escape from LA. So this is exactly what I was talking about. He said, now the plan is to leave LA, and now he's finna escape. I feel like this track gonna hit me. Who produced this? Who produced this? You know what's crazy, bro? That shit make you go wild. Alright, I done some crazy shit. I be telling y'all, bro. I'm talking about where there was one time, bro, and I'm gonna tell y'all the story, right? We'll stop it right here. I'm gonna tell you the story. I be telling you, it's so wild how your mind just works, bro. I remember one time I was about to go smash, right? Man, you know what I'm saying? She hit me up. She's like, yo, Sly, anything. I'm like, anything? She like, anything. I'm just like, anything. And she hit me with the anything, you know, side eye emoji. So, shit, that's all you gotta tell me after the 4 anythings. I'm in there like swimwear. I'm getting ready to get in my car. I didn't have the coupe at the time, you know what I'm saying? I had the Jetta. Alright, had the Jetta. Photo, wasn't the coupe. So I'm getting in my Jetta. I thought to myself, man, I was like, should I slide? It's an hour drive. It's from Tampa to Lakeland. If you guys don't know how that is, Tampa to Lakeland, alright? And it was like outskirt of Tampa, going to Lakeland. It's an hour drive, easy. So I'm contemplating, right? I go in my room. I throw on that Adriana Chechik's. I went from instantly, yo, I'm about to drive this shit to like, drive this shit? Nigga, I'm not dare driving. What you talking about driving an hour to get some kukwa? Hey. But the fact that, the moral of the story is, the fact that I was actually contemplating to drive an hour just to get some kukwa, some boom boom, was crazy to me. Like, I was like, yo, I'm really gonna drive. I'm really about to drive this. I was literally in park, turned my car on, my car said doo-doo-doo, you know how the Jetta sound, doo-doo-doo, and I was literally getting ready to pull out. And then I was like, you know what? That's crazy. Nah, that's too wild. But the fact that the pussy had that much power on me is crazy, bro. That's wild when you think about it. I heard that Weeknd. I heard that. I had to think about that line. He was like, Keanu Reeves, the way I speed. But I forgot Keanu Reeves in the movie called Speed. So. Nobody's watching. She closed the door and then she locked it for me. Oh, I legit got the goosebumps, bro. I don't know if y'all could see them, bro. I got the goosebumps. What the? You heard how he came in that second transition? She came in. She locked the door. She bought the take. Yo, that shit is crazy. This is the best track. This is literally the best track on the album. I'm trying not to talk too much because it's making me cough, but this is literally the best track on the album. Hands down, this is the best track on the album. I got Asian Flush right now. The Henny hitting me. This is crazy. Like, this is crazy. Oh my God, this is the best track. Oh my God. Oh my God. What did he say? What? She a cold-hearted bitch with no shame, but her throat too far. Yo. That's the best track. That's the best track so far. My goodness. He said, Weeknd said, she a cold-hearted bitch with no shame, but her throat too far. But her throat too far. What the fuck? That shit fire, boy. Oh my God. That's the best track on here, bro. Hands down. Somebody just tweeted and said, this is produced by Metro. Live tweets right now, whoever you are. Thank you, bro. Because I needed to know that. Alright, I just want to let y'all know that is the best track on here. Hands down, that is the best track on here that I heard so far. And what's crazy, the next track so the track's called Escape from LA, and I was trying to put it, as you guys said, it was a story kind of story. And it does sound like a story. And the next track is called Heartless. And we all saw in Heartless how he was kind of just running and being wild, and he was running around. Could look like he was running away from something. He was off the drugs. He was in Vegas, clearly. And we all know when you escape from LA, what's right next to it. A flight to Vegas is clearly like, what, 50 minutes, I think, an hour away. And I'm going to say this, man. I've never been to LA, but I've definitely heard stories. And, you know, the stories speaks for itself, especially me being all the way in Florida. And I know that influencers are told, especially if you want to make it big in Hollywood, you know, no pun intended, you want to make it big in, you know, in fame, you know, want to be an influencer. I heard that it's crazy how it is in California. You guys, even in, like, you know, central LA is the central part of that influencer town. But it's kind of just like, I heard Cali is just the way they act over there. It's just, you know, very snobby, very rich. I know you guys know about Florida, man. When people think about Florida, they can think about Miami, and then they think about country. It's all country, and that's exactly what it is. Country, oranges, and beaches. But I mean, everybody's really not as bougie as they are, as I heard that Cali is. And when you think about it, man, it's kind of just like, I could not imagine living in a city where everybody has to be fake. Everybody's impressing somebody else with their numbers, their cars, their clout, their money, anything for them to feel some kind of fulfillment. And then for some people that got fake, look, I'm gonna tell you right now, look, I will smash a fake chick, all right? I'm talking about, like, you know, surgery. I'm all, you know, whatever. But what I tell you right now is, if you get too much done, I can't deal with that. I feel like that problem, it becomes an insecurity problem, all right? I feel like you should be comfortable in your own body. Yes, you're entitled. Again, I'm not telling you what to do with your own body. It is your own body. So you are grown, you can do what you want. But I am also allowed to have a preference. And my preference is, I don't like that shit. Like, lip fillers, all that. Like, you want to know an example? Nikki Heaton used to be fire before. Before she got all that shit done, I'm like, she still look all right now. But, like, before, I feel like she, you know, it's beauty in the eye of the beholder, man. I'm saying her beauty was crazy. She looked good. Playing that guitar, she looked sweet. You know what I'm saying? She, you know, I felt like she needed no work done. And for her to feel like that, I feel like that's kind of just one of those cases. I feel like a lot of people in LA are so shallow, and that's me being ignorant. That's an ignorant statement because I don't know them, and I'm saying everybody, but I'm just saying in general, that area, I've heard stories about it, especially from my friends coming from there, and it's kind of just like, why? So I would see why he needs to escape LA, but then go to, you know, Heartless and then become a Heartless dude. I mean, that's crazy. Heartless is also one of my favorite, which was also produced by Metro, which is crazy because Escape and Heartless are two of my favorites on here. Next to Snow Child. Snow Child was fire too. Hard to Love is also one of those tracks. I'm scared, man. This whole shit's actually fire. I'm gonna think about it. But track 8, man, Faith. What? Is that the basically the bridge in Heartless? I lost my ring in my life. Like, isn't that the same thing? Like, crazy. He said, if you OD, I want you to follow right behind me. That's crazy. What is he talking about? Oh, no, if you OD, I take you to the hospital, but I ain't there following you. What you got going on in your mind? I'm not following you. All right, that's what I'm not doing. The one thing we not doing is if I see you jump off a bridge, I'm going to wave. I'm just going to wave. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm going to do. Like, what am I supposed to do? Jump off too? You're crazy. In the comments below, let me know if that was produced by Metro as well. That was a cool track too, man. Like, that ain't got nothing on no Escape though. Y'all was tripping about that. Oh, well, the track ain't over yet. Hold on. That track ain't over yet. All right, and then it leads off into Blinding Lights, which is cool too, man. I think that. All right, maybe I spoke too soon. It's equal. It's equal. All right, it's equal. Because I thought, you know, look, the transition. Metro probably did produce that as well because I think Metro produced Blinding Lights and Heartless. So that would be 4 in a row. Would it be 4 in a row? Heartless, Faith, Blinding Lights, Escape from LA. So yeah, it would be 4 in a row, which I think that's just crazy because I feel like those are the most upbeat tracks that we've heard so far. And Escape from LA is fire, especially the second transition. But Heartless second transition is also my favorite too. Faith's second transition is hard. Like, you could tell because Metro kind of just does that. You know, he did it in Diamonds Dancing. We all know about Diamond Dancing when Metro produced that. We all know that that's, come on now, one of the greatest songs that's kind of just underrated. And that, What a Time to Be Alive. I spoke too soon. I would say it's equal, man. Slight edge to Escape from LA. But like, hold on, let me tweet this real quick because that was funny. So I mean, I definitely love the story right here, man. Like, Escape from LA, now he's Heartless, then Faith, Blinding Lights, cause I'm blinded by the light and I can. So you know, I mean, I can see what he's kind of doing here, man. I'm still waiting for the Toxicity though. We have not got to the Toxicity yet, and y'all told me to turn up for some Toxicity, and I've only covered a couple of shit, except like Escape from LA was the only one I heard when he said I'm just in love with your throat. So, track 10, In Your Eyes. Cause my heart can't take a loss. I can tell what you've done, yeah, when I look at you in your eyes. I don't just want to say, I always look the other way. I like the sax though, I like the sax. I like how I had a little bold and beautiful sound there. Y'all know I'm a tenor sax player. I play bari sax as well, so it's kind of just, I don't know, man. Like that's only really the key highlight of the track that I liked. That definitely sounded straight out of H&M, straight out of Forever 21, where I'm not, you know, I'm not feeling that shit. But you know, to each their own. That's probably the only track on here that really missed for me, and I got a tweet about that. So it's just, I don't think it really. I mean, it's not bad, but it's just. Ugh. Track 11, Save Your Tears. All right. That might be a little too poppy for me. I think that might be even worse than In Your Eyes, in my opinion. I did not like those back-to-back tracks. Again, it sounds like it's supposed to be teenage bop music, which I guess I'm not a teenager no more, so that's kind of just not resonating with me. I mean, it's cool for you to have your little bops here, but I feel like that's something we've already heard before. I kind of feel like that's filler at this point. Especially when you follow up from Escape, Heartless, Faith, Blinding Lights. Like, I feel like you can't follow up with In Your Eyes and Save Your Tears to me. Those two tracks are kind of just really misses for me. Not even like, those are hard misses. Like, like it kind of just took my drunk away. Like, kind of just like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, what am I actually listening to? Track 12, Repeat After Me, Interlude. You don't love Heard that, my nigga. I feel that way too, man. Like, you know what's crazy when people think that you can't cheat? Well, nah, that's actually tough, man, Dev. That's tough, Dev. That's tough. Cause really, Dev, yeah, you can't really say that. But I honestly think, look, if you can't love him, if you thinking about me, like when you constantly thinking about somebody, period. I don't care what you say. You can still love your significant other, but if you constantly thinking about somebody else, constantly, and you know what I mean by constantly, all right? I'm not saying it for no reason. I'm not emphasizing like that for no reason. When you constantly think about somebody else, man, you need to go get that checked out, or you need to have a talk with that person you constantly thinking about. Because obviously you think about them for a reason. We know the reason. You just don't want to say it, or you just don't want to admit it to yourself. But we know why. We all know why. That's tight. Man, and you don't love him. I'm gonna tell you something like this too, man. There's always a 6-month rule. If you guys don't know about a 6-month rule, let me put you on game right now. House of Balloons was a big ass story time. This is going to be a story time as well right here. Look, whenever somebody's in an ex relationship, you guys always ask me this on Twitch. Some of my younger subscribers always ask me this. Look, if your girl or whoever you talking to has been in a relationship, right, and they finally break up, there is a 6-month tag. All right, the 6-month tag is if she has any contact with her ex, kissing, fucking, I wouldn't even go far as hugging because that's some kid shit. But are like visiting his house or whatever. You add another 6 months to that tag. Period. And I'm gonna let you know right now, if you don't want to get hurt and you want to play it safe, you add another 6 months to that tag. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, every time they have some type of contact, you add 6 months. Because they're not really broken up at that point. Because that means that your ex, the girl that you like, her ex can get access to his ex at any time. They're not really done. They just on a break. And you the filler. Alright? And we all know how filler goes in anime. No one wants to be a filler. Alright? I'm gonna tell you like that. We all want to be the main arc. So, whenever you see a girl and she always talk about like, yeah, always ask, when's the last time you talked to your ex? Like, whenever you ask these questions, when's the last time y'all done something? And she say 2 months. Alright, she got 4 more months to go before you can still talk to her, you can still chill, like do all that. Just guard your feelings, take a slow approach and be like, alright, cool, when it's 6 months, I'll take you serious. Until then, nah. Because I'm gonna tell you like this right now. They will always go back at some point. Speaking for guys as well. You know, it's always the easy access after the club or after any setting and be like, you know what, let me just get the most comfortable situation. It's comfortable, you know what I'm saying, I'm feeling some type of way, I need it right now, come give it to me, easy. No strings attached. Telling you right now, man. Look, that's some game right there. So just putting y'all on. Obviously, you know, track 13, After Hours, which I feel is like the top. Listening to it again, man, it has to be somewhere in top 5. My top 5 is all over the place right now, but After Hours is definitely up there, man. We all know how that went, and then even at the end, kind of felt like, you know, we got that throwback Weeknd along with, you know, his Starboy. It was a mix between the two because, you know, you could hear the Sims, you could hear the pop. And then towards the end where it sounded like, you know, he was really heartbroken. Without my baby. I can't do this shit right now. I'm going to throw her. But y'all know how that go, man. After Hours was definitely something amazing. So the last track we got is Until I Bleed Out. Well, that shit hit, boy. I mean, I feel that, man. You can tell yourself one thing, but I sound like a parrot, man. I feel like I always forget there's new listeners, so I always got to keep refreshing and keep saying it. But you are the only one that knows. You know, like you could tell yourself that you don't want something. You could tell yourself that you're okay. You could tell other people you're okay. You could tell other people you don't want something. You can lie to other people all you want, but at the end of the day, you live inside your own mind, and you can't really lie to yourself because that's how you feel. And if you truly, really want her back, you truly are not okay, and you truly, you know, feel some type of way, only you yourself will know that. And you can't lie to yourself. It's physically, psychologically impossible. So I kind of feel like we're right there, man. You know, like bleed until I bleed out. You know, like that's kind of just the ending right there of all endings, where, you know, he was kind of going through some mixed feelings all throughout this album. There's only 2 tracks on here though that had that really like kind of what is it called? You know, toxic vibe, which is Escape from LA. I guess you could say Heartless as well. Even Faith and Repeat After Me Interludes. Oh, so that's 4 tracks, I guess. You could kind of say that they're, you know, the Weeknd, the vintage Weeknd. And then we definitely got a lot of Starboy on here, which I didn't expect. He was definitely smart to follow up with the 4 tracks that he did, because those all sound different other than After Hours. After Hours is probably the only track that sounds more of like 80s, you know, techno, 80s synths, whatever you want to use in that old school sound, very electronic, alternative R&B, whatever you want to call it. I think that, man, this was a solid project, man. 12 out of 14 for me. 12 tracks out of 14. The only tracks on here that I didn't like was In Your Eyes and Save Your Tears. I feel like those were definitely some H&M background mids for me, man. Like, that's definitely a skippable track. Maybe, who knows, maybe I'll come back down to it and like it, but knowing myself and listening to that initially, man, it really just didn't pop out or do anything for me at all, especially following the tracks from Metro Boomin, Escape from LA, Heartless, Faith, and Blinding Lights. I think that was kind of just a weak follow-up. But it got saved right there with Repeat After Me and After Hours and Even Until I Bleed Out. Those are 3 solid tracks to end the album. And you guys know I always speak about how you start your album, how you finish your album. It's all about your intro and your outro. Not literally your intro and your outro, but, you know, how you start the album and how you end the album. I feel like he did both of those really well, as long and his mid was so strong, man. Like, actually, it wasn't even his mid. It was from track 1 all the way to track 9. I feel like it's a no skip. Very solid production all around. Again, The Weeknd kind of just catering to both sides of his fan base. You know, the old school Weeknd fans like myself, you know, with the, you know, House of Balloons and Thursday. And then, you know, his newer fans kind of just that love the Starboy and, you know, all the way to present, which is not a bad thing. Again, we're all fans at the end of the day. I'm not trying to, it's not a cool thing to be an original Weeknd fan. I am older than you guys, so obviously I would be a Weeknd fan before a lot of you guys, because again, when you guys were still losing your virginity, I was out there popping these breezies, all right? That's what I was doing. So I was already listening to The Weeknd. I'm a lot older than you guys, that you guys realize, all right? I'm a lot older just because I look young. Asian don't raisin, black don't crack. I be trying to tell y'all that. Anyways, just a solid project, man. Even though I was a little bit sick, I am off the Henny, man. I was eating my cheesecake. I'm a little bit sick, man. I definitely wasn't feeling well yesterday, but it did not affect the way I was listening to it. It's a solid project. It's definitely 12 out of 14, like I said. But some people are still going to find a way to complain that I did not like the 2 tracks, In Your Eyes and Save Your Tears, because they're going to say, it's the best track on the album. And then other people are going to say, Faith is the best track on the album. And other people are going to say, Escape from LA is the best track on the album. So, you know, like, I just laugh about when people say that, man. All right, look, we're going to keep it like that. Get in the comment box below, man. Let me know what's your favorite track. Let me know which tracks you like. Let me know which tracks you dislike. Let me know if you agree with my top 5 or more of my favorite tracks. Escape from LA, obviously, Heartless, Faith, Repeat After Me, After Hours, and I think Hardest to Love. Yeah, Hardest to Love was probably my top 5 as well. Scared to Live is right on the border outside, you know, 6 man out there. So I think that it was a solid project, man. I definitely can't wait to listen to it again in a different setting. You guys know what I mean by a different setting, as in nighttime, driving by myself in a sad boy mood, because I feel like this album will definitely hit harder when you are in some type of, you know, relationship or some type of you know, night. You know, I'm just gonna keep it like that. You know, you have one of them long nights after 2, 3 in the morning. Apparently, I was talking a little bit too much and I ran out of space, so I had to record this outro on another drive or another camera. But anyways, man, I just want to say, if you want to watch the whole video, man, it is on Patreon. You can watch the whole full reaction. I know a lot of you guys complain, and it's not my fault. It's really the copyright. If you guys want to watch the full reaction, man, you can go ahead and head over there, man. Search me on Patreon, Dollar in the Dream. Support me. I've been doing this for 4 years, 700 videos later. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. What else, man? If you want my Spotify and Apple Music playlist as well, you can go ahead to the Patreon. It's there as well. I just want to say, man, I love the album. The album was, after, again, listening to it a little bit more and listening to it in the car, it's definitely a, you know, better experience, I would say, in the car, late night driving. I drove at 2 o'clock in the morning last night. So I just want to say, man, you know, The Weeknd is, I feel like he's doing exactly what he needs to do moving on, you know, in time. You know, he's not the same artist that he was when he was, you know, 21, 20 years old. And I think a lot of us kind of just misunderstand that, or not even misunderstand. We kind of just overlook that. and the fact that he can still make great music while still implementing some of his old sounds into his new sounds. I think that's what we all should, you know, admire from an artist, you know, such as The Weeknd, man. You know, kind of just altering his craft and kind of just being creative with his sounds and, you know, what he does, and becoming his transition to dark alternative R&B into, you know, this pop star, but not really a pop star. You know, he still has to appeal to the masses because he's just that big. Anyways, man, I want to do too much talking, man. I have already talked too much. I just want to get out of here, man. Like the video, get the video to 3,000 likes. We will do Thursday. House of Balloons video is also there if you want to watch that. It's on Patreon and it's going to be on YouTube soon. Yeah, man, get the video up. Nah, fuck that. 4,000 likes, man. 4,000 likes, man. Get the video 4,000 likes. We get new vinyl on the wall, and we'll get the Thursday mixtape out. Like again, Weeknd, it is The Weeknd. He dropped, didn't disappoint. Those 4 singles definitely did not disappoint. Following up after that, and I just want to say, After Hours is definitely a solid album of the year for me. Till next time, though, man. This has been your boy Dev. Like always, been fucking talking too much. We are out. Yeah, hey, y'all see this merch, bro? This merch clean, dog. Hey, shout out to my team, bro, for the merch, man. This merch is clean, bro. I ain't gonna front. Hey, next wave though, y'all get that next wave. Till next time, man. We out, man. Peace.